Before the first light of November, 4 signs will unfold, each one not in the sky above, but in the heart within. A voice, quiet yet undeniable, has begun to stir across the world. It speaks not of fear, but of preparation, of transformation, of awakening. My name is Shi Heng Yi. For many years I have studied the ancient ways of Shaolin discipline and mindful self-mastery. I have seen that when the world grows restless, the true battle begins inside. These coming days will test your balance, your clarity, and your strength of spirit. The 4 things I will speak of are not mere prophecies, they are inner movements that every awakened one must face before new beginnings arrive. You will see how Shaolin teachings reveal the deeper pattern behind them, the shift from chaos to calm, from confusion to direction, from weakness to purpose, and from self-doubt to self-command. Many overlook the truth that even in the temple, every change of season carries both danger and promise. The same is true for you. Before November arrives, life will offer you chances to realign, to strengthen your virtue, and to master your attention. You will learn how the smallest act of awareness can alter the flow of events that appear far beyond your control. Stay until the end, and you will understand how to meet these 4 transformations with presence, not fear, and turn each into a doorway toward your higher potential. You are not here by coincidence. You are called to hear this. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire, where ancient wisdom burns with new light. If this path speaks to you, honor it, subscribe, and walk with us as we journey through the fire of change together. There was a time, early in my training, when I believed freedom meant doing whatever I wanted. But the Shaolin path soon taught me otherwise. The true taste of freedom came not from indulgence, but from discipline, the quiet mastery of the body, the breath, and the mind. When the gong sounded before dawn, the body resisted. The mind whispered, "Rest a little longer." Yet each time I bowed to the moment instead of my mood, something within began to shift. That resistance was the doorway. Passing through it daily forged a different kind of strength, one that no comfort could ever give. In Shaolin philosophy, we say the body is the first temple. It must be kept in harmony, purified through effort, sharpened through repetition. Each movement, each breath, each still moment of awareness becomes a thread in the fabric of inner freedom. Through structure, we discover space. Through repetition, we discover truth. Mindfulness deepens this understanding. To act with awareness, even when you do not feel ready, is to declare who you truly are. The undisciplined mind serves its emotions. The disciplined mind serves its purpose. When you choose consistency over comfort, you shift from being a follower of impulses to the master of your path. Many believe freedom is the absence of rules, but in the Shaolin way, freedom is born from mastery over chaos. Every small commitment, a breath before speaking, a pause before reacting, a morning of practice, teaches the self to obey higher order rather than lower desire. And one day, without effort, you wake to find that the structure you once resisted has become your ally. The practice that once felt heavy now moves like wind. That is the first shift, discipline transforming into freedom, and the self becoming unshakable. There comes a moment in every seeker's journey when the noise of the past and the weight of the future grow too loud to bear. You begin to realize that your suffering does not come from what has happened or what might happen, but from your constant departure from this moment. In the Shaolin way, we call this the art of turning the eyes inward. During training, the master would say, "See the strike before it comes, not with your eyes, but with your awareness." At first, these words made little sense, but with practice, the meaning became clear. True perception arises not from outward attention, but from a still mind anchored in the now. Presence is not an escape. It is the sharpest state of readiness. The warrior who stands present does not drift into the memories of yesterday or the worries of tomorrow. His senses are awake, his breath steady, his spirit unshaken. In that moment, life unfolds exactly as it is meant to. Mindfulness teaches this same principle through gentler means. When you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk. When a thought appears, simply see it arise and dissolve. This simple awareness, without judgment, without chase, is the gateway to your deepest power. The second shift comes quietly, but it changes everything. You stop reacting to life as if it is attacking you. You start responding as one who sees clearly. Regret loses its grip, and anxiety fades into silence. What remains is a calm center from which all wise action flows. To live in presence is to reclaim your energy from time itself. It is to discover that eternity is not in endless years. It is in a single conscious breath, and within that breath, the divine speaks. There's a storm that lives inside every human being. It gathers quietly through unspoken worries, hidden fears, restless desires. At first, it seems harmless, just thoughts moving like clouds. But left unseen, it becomes thunder. It shakes your peace, blurs your vision, and drives your actions without awareness. The Shaolin path teaches that chaos cannot be fought with force. It dissolves only under the light of attention. When a monk sits in meditation, still as stone, he is not escaping life. He is entering it completely. Each breath draws him deeper into the present moment, sweeping dust from the corners of the mind. In that silence, the machinery of being is cleaned. The gears of thought, emotion, and body realign into harmony. This shift is not loud. There are no miracles to show, no applause to earn. It happens quietly, like snow melting in sunlight. The noise that once ruled your inner world begins to fade. The emotions that used to drag you in every direction lose their power. You begin to see thoughts not as commands, but as passing visitors. Through daily discipline, sitting still, breathing with awareness, observing without reaction, you learn to remain unmoved in the center of movement. The outer world may still rage, but inside the waters become clear. You start to act from clarity instead of confusion, from choice instead of compulsion. This is the third shift, the dissolving of inner chaos. It is the moment when you no longer serve the storm, but the calm beyond it. From this space, the divine begins to move through you more freely. The four things foretold cannot take root in a crowded, noisy mind. They require still soil, steady breath, and the quiet strength of one who has mastered himself. There comes a stage in the journey when strength and stillness are no longer enough. You may have trained the body and calmed the mind, yet something deeper calls for alignment, the voice of virtue. In the Shaolin way, this is known as Dibuyude, Wude, the martial virtue. It is the invisible foundation beneath all true mastery, humility, righteousness, loyalty, and compassion. Without these, skill becomes hollow, and power turns into burden. In the temple, a disciple is reminded that every strike, every movement carries intention. The outer form may be graceful, but it is the heart that determines its truth. When humility guides strength, it becomes service. When compassion directs discipline, it becomes healing. This is the meaning of purpose anchored in virtue, the alignment of your actions with the highest qualities within you. Mindfulness is the mirror that helps you see this clearly. It strips away the noise of ambition, comparison, and pride until only what truly matters remains. Through quiet observation, you begin to notice which choices arise from ego and which from sincerity. The more aware you become, the more your path straightens, not by force, but by natural gravity toward what is right. This fourth shift is subtle yet powerful. It is not about changing careers or chasing destiny. It is about infusing your current path with meaning. Work becomes service. Relationships become practice. Every act, however small, becomes a reflection of your inner virtue. When purpose anchors in virtue, the spirit finds peace. You no longer move through life to prove your worth. You move to express it. And in that state, your presence itself becomes a teaching, your life a quiet offering to something far greater than yourself. This is the essence of the fourth transformation. In the ancient courtyards of the temple, training began not with philosophy, but with the body. The monks would rise before dawn, their movements slow and deliberate, breath synchronized with motion. To an outsider, it might appear as mere exercise, but within each gesture was a silent dialogue between body and mind. The Shaolin way teaches that the body is not separate from consciousness, it is the doorway to it. When the breath flows evenly, the mind steadies. When posture aligns, energy aligns. When movement becomes mindful, thought becomes clear. Through this harmony, the body transforms from a vessel of habit into an instrument of awareness. Every stretch, every stance, every controlled exhale becomes a practice of presence. Qigong, one of the oldest Shaolin disciplines, embodies this truth. It teaches that energy follows attention. As you guide your awareness through the body, the internal currents begin to balance. Tension melts, clarity deepens, and what was once scattered becomes whole. This is not mystical, it is the natural intelligence of life responding to awareness. In daily life, this mastery can begin simply. Notice how you sit, how you walk, how you breathe when faced with challenge. A straight spine invites courage. A steady breath summons peace. These small moments of embodiment are gateways into your deeper self. As the four transformations unfold, this connection between body and mind becomes your anchor. The body reflects the inner landscape. When it is grounded, the spirit stands firm. When it moves with awareness, the heart remains clear. Through this harmony, you no longer chase balance, you live it. The body becomes the prayer, the breath the mantra, and your every movement a reflection of the stillness you have found within. There is a teaching in the old temples that says, the eye that looks outward dreams, the eye that looks inward awakens. This is the essence of the observer mind, the silent awareness that watches everything yet is untouched by what it sees. In early training, this awareness is fragile. The mind leaps from one thought to another. Emotions surge like waves, and you are carried wherever they take you. But through steady practice, you begin to notice something subtle. There is a part of you that never moves. It watches joy and sorrow come and go, yet it remains still. It hears the noise of the world, yet it stays silent. This is the true seat of mastery, the observer within. In meditation, a monk does not fight his thoughts. He observes them rise and fall, like leaves floating on a stream. In doing so, he discovers a great secret: what you watch without resistance loses its power to control you. The same is true for anger, fear, or desire. Each dissolves when met by the calm gaze of awareness. As you cultivate this observer mind, a quiet strength awakens. You begin to choose your response rather than react out of habit. The emotions that once ruled you become guides instead of masters. Life still brings challenges, but you face them with clear eyes and steady breath. This shift marks the difference between the reactive self and the master of self. The reactive self is tossed by every wind. The master stands at the center, watching the storm but not entering it. When this awareness deepens, the four transformations can unfold freely, for only a conscious observer can direct energy with precision. In that still gaze, wisdom arises, and the soul begins to lead. In the Shaolin tradition, balance is not a place you arrive at. It is a rhythm you learn to dance with. The ancients called it Zhongdao, the middle path, a way of living that honors both strength and softness, stillness and movement, effort and rest. To walk this path is to understand that harmony is not the absence of tension, but the art of holding it with grace. During training, a monk learns that every punch contains stillness and every breath of meditation contains power. Too much force and the movement breaks, too much ease and the purpose fades. The mastery lies in feeling both without losing either. The same truth applies beyond the temple walls. Life too demands this balance. There will be days when discipline feels heavy and surrender feels impossible. Yet balance is not something you find once. It is something you practice every day. The middle path asks you to meet pressure without panic and stillness without sloth. When deadlines close in, you stay composed. When emotions surge, you neither suppress nor indulge them. You meet each moment with equal parts awareness and adaptability. This balance becomes your strength, not rigid like stone, but steady like water. Often, transformation does not come from dramatic change, but from gentle correction, learning to return to center again and again. The mind wants extremes, but the heart seeks harmony. The middle path is that sacred harmony, the place where focus meets flow, where action carries peace, and where presence replaces struggle. When you live in this way, your life stops swinging wildly between chaos and control. You move instead with quiet precision, firm in purpose, yet fluid in spirit. This is how balance becomes not an idea, but your natural state of being. In the quiet halls of the temple, a lesson is whispered into every action. True freedom is born from restraint. At first, this seems impossible. How can limitation grant liberty? Yet the monks teach that the walls of discipline are not prisons, they are frames that give shape to the spirit. Each restriction is a tool. The morning silence is not emptiness, but a mirror for the mind. Breath practice is not a chore, but a bridge between chaos and clarity. Ethical vows are not chains, but anchors that hold the heart steady amid life's storms. Through these small sacred boundaries, the self learns to move with intention rather than impulse. The paradox is simple yet profound. Without structure, energy scatters. Without guidance, focus falters. By embracing limits, the spirit discovers its own strength. A single committed habit, rising before dawn, bowing in gratitude, breathing with full attention, can transform the way you inhabit every hour. What once felt restrictive begins to feel liberating, for it trains the mind to see beyond immediate desire and into enduring purpose. This is the preparation for the changes to come. The four things cannot appear in a life that drifts like untethered water. They require a vessel strong enough to hold them, steady enough to receive them. Each act of self-restraint, each disciplined practice becomes a doorway. Freedom is not the absence of rules. It is mastery over them. When the body, mind, and heart move within sacred boundaries, they move without hesitation. Energy flows unblocked. Clarity rises. And what has been promised begins to unfold, quietly, inevitably, like light through the morning mist. In accepting restriction, the seeker discovers the true expansiveness of the self. The world often teaches that change happens to us, that we are swept along by circumstance. But the Shaolin path reveals a different truth. The most profound transformations are not given, they are earned, embodied, and activated from within. The four shifts foretold before November 1st are not distant events waiting to touch your life. They are movements you cultivate in the quiet, unseen spaces of your being. Through disciplined practice, breath awareness, and mindful attention, you begin to notice your own power. Every posture held with presence, every thought observed without judgment, every act aligned with virtue becomes a spark of creation. You are no longer a passive witness to life, you are the agent who directs it. This is the essence of mastery: to respond with clarity, to act with intention, to allow the inner transformation to shape the outer reality. The changes unfold in layers. Discipline becomes freedom. Presence overtakes past and future. Inner chaos dissolves. Purpose anchors in virtue. Each layer builds upon the other, and each is supported by the harmony of body, mind, and awareness. In this way, the four shifts are not separate occurrences. They are the integrated rhythm of a life lived consciously. To walk this path is to claim responsibility for your own awakening. It is to recognize that every breath, every step, every choice matters. The power to meet these transformations does not lie outside you. It has always resided within. Step into this path now. Practice with patience, act with presence, and allow the fourfold transformation to rise naturally from your discipline, clarity, and virtue. Become the cause of your next state, not just its receiver. When you do, the world will no longer move around you, it will move with you. Before the 1st of November, these four transformations are ready to unfold, but they will only take root if you align yourself with them. Discipline your body, steady your mind, cultivate presence, and let virtue guide your actions. Observe your thoughts without attachment. Embrace balance and accept the sacred restrictions that lead to freedom. In doing so, you become the master of your own life, capable of meeting change not with fear, but with clarity and purpose. The path of Shaolin wisdom and mindful self-mastery is not distant or abstract. It is alive in each breath, each deliberate action, and each quiet moment of reflection. By bringing these practices into your daily life, you prepare yourself to embody the shifts that are coming, transforming them from events you witness into experiences you create. Walk this path with patience, courage, and awareness. Let each day be a small step toward mastery. And remember, true power is gentle, steady, and rooted in the present. If this message resonates, join our community at Shaolin Soulfire. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and walk this journey of transformation with us. May peace, clarity, and strength guide you in every moment.